Hey everybody, it's Guido from South Hills, and I have to show you this demo. I just did this yesterday in JavaScript, and it was just so cool. I gotta just put it out there. So I started showing off this week VueJS. It's similar to React. It's similar to Angular. It's these big JavaScript frameworks that are kind of helping us change the way we write user interfaces on the web. And they're just really cool. They do so many interesting things. They use so many best practices and design patterns that we've really learned over the years, and they put it at the front end on JavaScript, and it's just really neat. So I'm going to show you this. I'm going to build something here. So I use REPL. I love REPL. It's REPL.it, REPL.it. I'm not even sure how you say it, but it's a website that stores your code. You code in the cloud, and you can run it. It runs in containers. It's just a neat environment, playground to write code. So I got a VueJS starter. I'm gonna make a new one right now. We're gonna just build this together. Okay, they have a starter. It's really neat. You run it and then you can pop it out, and it's a nice little checklist. I can add an item. I can remove items. It shows me how many to-do items I have. It's just the simple to-do app that every programmer should be able to write. But I'm going to go and just change it up because I want to just show how this is working underneath. So let me pull up the code here. Here is their index.html file. And I'm going to just ignore the head section because that doesn't really matter for this. And I'm going to pull up this section here and just kind of make note that we have a div that is the app. Inside the app, we have three custom HTML elements. We have three custom tags. These don't exist in HTML, but we made them. Okay, this is a thing that VueJS does. It allows you to make new HTML components that turn into their own custom tags that then you can just drop on your web page wherever you want to. So if I take away these three custom tags, my web page becomes blank. But those three tags are what made the to-do list do all of this functionality. So all of the complexity of all of this, even the, trash this one and trash that one and add a new one, it's all baked into these custom tags somehow. So we're building like user interface objects by just dropping these new tags. How does that work? Well, we have to use Vue. So here is the JavaScript that brings in the library. And then we have these things called components. And these are the things that we make. So I'm going to go to their components. And I am going to delete pretty much all of their components, other than this one here, just to give you an example. So custom footer is the name of the component. That's why you can name this custom footer. A component has a template. So it's just HTML or other components or other coding within this template that will essentially go and be a part of that tag. So this tag will turn into that HTML. So if I change this and I change this, I can now have something. We're going to do a project with StarWars. So there's an API. It's called the StarWars API, Swappy. And I am going to make a tag called StarWars character. And my template is going to be, let's see what I want to put in here. My template is going to be just a div tag And inside the div, I'm going to put an h1. I'm just going to say that name goes here. It's going to be the name of the character. And then I'm going to have a p tag where the eye color would go here. And then another p tag where the birth year would go here. This is the birth year of the character. So does that work? Can I go back to my index, change it to StarWars character, take away these other ones? Okay, makes sense? StarWars character, new tag, because I made a StarWars character view component, giving it this template. It's going to turn this, actually it's going to turn this into that. Run it. Okay, there I go. This website's not going to look amazing, but it's going to do some cool stuff. This code at the bottom really just sets up the Vue app so that we can actually hook it up. This element is how it hooks up to this. So you can only put these custom components inside where it's app. Here's where it gets interesting. If I take another one of these, or two of these, and I run it. Ah. Now they must have some CSS for something here, so I'm just going to do two, just so it looks cleaner. Here would be the first one. Here would be the second one. Here's the rendered HTML from the component here, and the rendered HTML component from the component there. Let's get fancier, because Vue can do a lot more than that. I'm going to keep the template at the bottom, but I'm going to add a section called props, and it's going to have a prop called ID. Now, a prop is just a way to send input into a component. So I go here and I could, because I called the prop ID, watch what I can do. I can just put an attribute, ID equals number 1, and ID equals number 4. I don't know which character that is, but character 1's data will automatically get populated into that component, and character 4's StarWars data will be automatically populated into that component. Right now, it's not going to work because I didn't code it yet. So I've been talking about data. Guess what? I need a place to store my data. And it is in the function that returns whatever I want. So I have a data section where I describe the data. Now, I know there was this function in return, just kind of a limitation, probably of JavaScript. But if I have a StarWars character, maybe I want a blank object that's going to hold the data of character. Now, where's this data going to come from that I'm going to put in there? Well, there is an API, an application programmer interface. It's kind of like this new thing that's been around for a long time, but it's very popular now. This is how we connect to all sorts of devices on the internet. We configure things with APIs. API traffic is all over the web right now. So if I go to this API endpoint and I give it a number 1 at the end, it returns me Luke Skywalker. If I give it a number 4, I think this is my other one, it gives me Darth Vader. Here is the data that's going to pull down. And it's going to pull it down into character. Now, when it pulls it down into character, here's what's really cool about Vue as well. It uses all these good best practices and all these interesting design patterns. I'm going to just put in this double mustache notation. And I'm going to say, what was the name of my data? Character dot name. And it's going to grab the name, which is Darth Vader, and just shove it into there in that h1 tag. And then I'm going to go to eye color. I'm just going to do this so it's a little bit faster. I'm going to copy and paste. Character eye underscore color and character birth underscore year. How do I know that those are there? Because I looked at the API. They're in there. My template's going to be rendered with dynamic data from character. See how a lot of programming is just hooking things together. Yes, there's algorithms that have to be designed, but a lot of programming is just connecting things. Again, the ID is going to get caught by the prop. Some other thing we're doing next is going to grab the ID, call out to the API, fetch the data in, and then shove the data in character. And then this template will grab it from character. So this is the last piece of the puzzle. Created. This is just an event that fires off when the component is ready to go. It's been created and ready to go. So again, you have to use a function notation, and if you can spell it right, that would help. This function will get called automatically when the component is ready to go on screen. So I'm just going to pull this code over because I wrote this already today. I do see a syntax error coming up here. I need to put commas there. So it is a fetch, JavaScript fetch. It fetches things from other websites. So here is the StarWars API. You can see the ID is the prop that was passed in. I'm going to just put that at the end as like a variable. That's how I'm going to get this to work. Swappy.dev API people 4, if they pass me a 4. Swappy API, swappy.dev API people 4, if the prop is a 4. Guess what? It's going to be a 4 in the second one. It's going to be a 1 on the first one. Fetch is going to get called. A response is going to come back from the web server. The response is going to then pull the JSON off of that response. The JSON is the name of this format of data. The JSON data is then going to get pulled, and I'm going to take that data and just with a basic assignment statement, the character, which is this, you have to use this, but the character here, it's going to get assigned data. So all of the data from the API will just get shoved into character. So then I can use that down here in the template to say character name, character eye color, character dot, any of those things that would have been given to me. All dynamically, all in real time, all simplified into a single tag. That's what a lot of programming is too. Yes, we did have to learn how to do this. We had to add some complexity here. It's not that complicated. But because we did some complication there, this has become dead simple. I'm going to get 2 StarWars characters, one character number 1, one character number 4, and it's going to render the HTML right here. Ready? 3, 2, 1. There it is. Really cool. Thank you to all these really cool new JavaScript frameworks. Start using them because everybody is. Okay, everyone, thanks for watching. I'll see you later.